this brief, but I'd like to kind of start out to give you an idea of how this started. I met Bob for something totally different than what this all ended up to be. Bob was recommended by a mutual friend of ours to do a valuation on the company, which again had nothing to do with where we were. And as you probably determined over the months that we've been together, Bob is amongst many of his skills, a very good salesman. And we were sitting there one day, and he had said that he was going to do the one thing for X. He goes, by the way, he's going, do you want me to, this is not, what I'm doing for you now is not really my main business. My main business is management consulting. The minute he said that, I turned off. I get mail approximately 2 a week from management consultants that promise to come in, increase productivity, sales, this, that, and the other thing. But he said something along the lines, well, listen, you know what, I'll tell you what we'll do. He's going, normally I charge $3,000 or $4,000 to do one of these, and I do a survey. And I come back to you to tell you if I think I can be of any help. He goes, but since I'm also doing this other thing, I'll throw it in for $500. And in a fit of like, just, okay, off. To a serious note, he then came back to me and said that he thought that he could help us. And so we talked about it a bit, and a lot of what he said made sense. And as I say, I mean, I've even interviewed some of these people, and I just, they turned me, I don't, well, whatever, I had negative connotations, but he made a lot of sense. So he said, let me put together a proposal for you, which he did. And he came back, and I was thinking, okay, it certainly makes sense, because he had gone, this is after he'd gone around and interviewed some of the people, looked at the operation, and he certainly had some ideas where there might be improvement. And I was thinking, $10,000, $15,000, and he came back with a price, which I'm not going to get into, but it was substantially higher than that, tens of thousands of dollars. And I was like, almost fell off the side of my seat. And I said, my immediate reaction is I've got to think about this one. And I thought about it for not very long, to be quite honest. And I made my decision to go ahead for 2 main reasons. First is that I realized that the people that are here at this table and some of the other people that were a part of this process have been with this company for a heck of a long time, are without question hard-working, loyal, or they wouldn't have been here this long, given the conditions that we've had. And quite honestly, I felt it was worth the investment. I said, and I'll be also honest, I don't know, it's not like I work with you every day as I do with the plastics, but Tony and Jimmy, Joyce, we work together closely. I said, there's a group of people here that's potentially worth this investment, and we might get something out of it. And I'll be quite honest, luckily this year we were starting to make some money, and I said, you know something, I'm almost going to throw all the money in the pot and take a chance here. And secondarily, the reason I made it was that in talking to Bob further about his methodology and whatnot, he had indicated, or what I was concerned about was having somebody come in and say, just that's what you do there and fix that, and we just made an improvement. No, you did this, that. He goes, that's not how I work. He goes, what I want to do is I'm not going to tell these people how to do anything. I'm not going to tell them the specific thing, which a lot of management companies do. They'll come in, they won't talk to you, okay, fine, is this what happens? Fine, thanks a lot. Time, motion, survey, all right, and this is what you should do, and this is what you should do. He said, no, that's not my methodology. What I want to do is I want to train these people to solve these problems, which I latched onto immediately, that this is the right way to do it, because the problems are never going to end. So we went into the process, and so that basically was it. I felt it was definitely worth making the investment because of you people here and others that aren't here, and because I felt that this type of methodology would help us, that when he walks out the door, that this is not a process that stops when the management consultant leaves. This must be a process that continues. And so really where I feel we are, and I'll say this, obviously also because of other constraints and whatnot, I was not able to partake as much of the meetings as I would have liked to. disappointed some, although Bob and I, virtually every time he was here, talked about the process and what you guys were going through. And I'll tell you the other thing, when I first started it, because the amount of money was so much, I said, you know, I'll probably do this for a little while, and after we get a couple ideas, I'm done this one off, because this just ain't going. But the truth of the matter, you know, and I'll say this, I've been in business for 25 years now, and Bob is one of the most impressive people I've ever met, in a variety of reasons. And some of the things, the meeting where you guys sat down and dragged it out and did those improvements on the finishing line where they had done the photos. And it was fascinating. I mean, I just sat there when he told me, you guys had already had the meeting, but I guess it was the next day when he sat down, and I was just like flabbergasted. This is just really fascinating, unbelievable, and let's just keep going. And I mean, as Bob said, you know, a lot of people in this room that I had definitively seen changes and whatnot. It's just been a really impressive performance, eye-opening to me, and god dang it, I just was happy as hell that I did it. It was worth every penny. We can't stop, we've got to keep going. And I look forward to next year, and not only next year, but the years to come. And I think we can all do it together.
Thank you.